welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is August 9th, 2023. I am your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Yo, 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 it's your boy Pokemon Trigger, please. We're both a little bit under the weather, so sorry if we sound off.
Yeah,
But we do want to talk Pokemon Go.
of course, yes. I mean, we're only a couple of weeks away from, I don't know, probably one of the best events of the year. Actually, a week away now that I think about it, by the time a
Really?
week or so ago. Or However, there's a lot to talk about this week. But yes, as Chris has mentioned, we are a little under the weather. I didn't know Chris was under the weather, but I know I'm under the weather. So thank you, Manny, for coming to the chat. But yeah, we if you hear a lot of like and things like that, it's because we got a little sick over the few days, so we're trying to recuperate here and there. But we of course want to talk to y'all about everything that's happening in this week's of Pokemon Go, and the next week, and the next week, and the next week. How's your week been, brother?
It's been a good week. Can't complain at all.
Yeah.
You know, I played a bunch, but after Adventure Week, everything feels dull.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the spots have been all right. I did like the different showcases we had and everything, but nothing great.
That's true. That's good. Yeah. After that, I don't know why Siri is actually activating here. I think my voice is so weird today. Anyways, yeah, it's been an interesting week. Not too much to worry about. Yes, Traded Mystic, thank you for joining us. Thank you, and I'll see you next week. I know it's gonna be fun. So
Yeah. I was like, what you mean? Oh.
yeah, okay, so I'll try not to talk too much. My throat is still hurting a bit, but however the case may be, it's time to talk some things. But here we are once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. Don't forget to check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com or the professornetwork.com/purifiedpodcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time. Between the Lura podcast, Special Conditions, Waste Spotters, and many more. Make sure you check them out. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. With that being said, of course, we had an interesting week after the Fossil Week, and then we had another back-to-back event called the Glittering Gardens event, which was coexistent with the Pokemon Go Fest. It wasn't Yokohama, it was Osaka, right? Yeah, Osaka. Pokemon Go Fest Osaka and Pokemon Go Fest London were both of the two events that were happening the weekend for the live events, and everybody's going crazy. The videos from all the content creators is crazy as always. But yeah, so Chris, how about you tell us the whole? Well, I'll go get some water real quick.
Yeah, sure. Let me look at. Let me see. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in the middle of a Valorant match. He knows that. No, I'm joking. Yeah, let's talk shinies.
Yeah, no, okay. So first of all, since Chris is actually almost there, we'll talk about my shiny hauls. I didn't get any other handles after Poliwag's Community Day. As for shinies, I did get quite a bit of shinies from the Garden event. I started with a shiny Pelotil, which was actually nice. It's a brand new shiny being released. So I'm happy about that. I wanted two more, but I'll take the one for now. I got another shiny Spritzy, so I have the full line if I want to evolve it. I do have to walk with it for a second at some point. I got another shiny Cresselia while hunting down some Pokemon, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Nice, I know. A shiny Croagnock too while just hunting around for parks, since the Glitter event was actually all in parks and everything like that. Shiny Catnia, I knew that was gonna happen because I was walking through the parks when they was actually there. That's like my 7th or something like that. And a shiny Hoppip, which Community Day was a thing, so it's not really that much craziness of that. I was looking for the Surge Plus Circle or whatever it's called, the little puff thing. I still have Pelotil spawning.
Puff thing. Why am I blanking on that?
It looks like a cotton candy.
Oh, Slurpuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was actually my chase. I didn't even want the other one.
Yeah.
Patello. I really wanted that Slurpuff because I think it's a much better change.
I was clicking on almost every single one, so I'm kind of surprised that I didn't get one.
Yeah, I'm definitely disappointed. I didn't get any like event shinies per se.
Oh, you know what the funny thing is?
What?
So during this event, we had 2 Kilometer X, which featured Glittering Gardens event spawns from 2KX without the boost or anything. However, they were actually letting us have Larvesta.
Yeah.
Bro, I hashed 3 Larvesta.
Okay, I'm jealous
I got 6 now.
because personally, I only got like one or two K eggs because I just wasn't really into hatching them
Yeah.
at the moment, just because there wasn't any egg bonuses per se. The spawn pool was good. Don't get me wrong. I was terrified. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. The people just surrendered. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I thought the pool was really good, but I think yeah, I may have. Did the event end yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday.
Okay, then I may have. Yeah, I may have two more 2Ks. Let me check the
I
hatchable.
got, I think, 4 more left from the event itself.
Yeah, I
5
actually
actually, but
I don't have any. I don't have any. I only got like one or two, and they both hatched Swadloon or whatever. Sawaddle. They
Swaddle.
both hatched Sawaddle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was one of those. It's not like I was really grinding it. I think I got more Encebadas to do it once I hatched my third Laversta, and I was like, okay, this eggs are kind of cracked. So I was like, might as well just start hatching them for no reason.
Yeah, you might be able to trade one maybe. Hmm? Hmm? Hmm?
Yeah, no,
I may have something you want.
I'm definitely doing some lucky trades for those. Maybe trades and all that stuff because I do want my Hondo Larvesta and
Yeah,
Pokemon.
I'd be happy to trade my normal one, but I can't remember the last time we hit Lucky Friends. It was
Let's
a
see.
long time
Are
ago.
we close to anything lucky? I mean, you haven't sent me a gift. I haven't sent you a gift, so I'm gonna send you a gift.
Yeah, maybe we'll hit it live. Who knows? Maybe that's the push we needed.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, the Glittering Gardens event wasn't that bad. It was only a few days, but technically it was what 3 days. I started on the 5th and ended on the 8th.
Yeah, three or
Three,
four.
3 or 4
I
technically.
want
Yeah,
to say four because we had four different competitions, so
yeah.
I feel like it was either like four or like 4.5.
It
But
was like 3.5 technically,
okay,
because it started like at 10 on on a Saturday and ended all the way on a Tuesday. So yeah, like 4 days, something like that. You open the gift, no, we're not lucky.
no lucky today.
But
Uh,
yeah, so it wasn't that bad. I think the showcases were actually the most interesting part about it.
yeah, you say that.
Well, I mean, you gotta grind it out in a way. But to be told, I mean, getting those premium items really do make a difference of actually trying to win them. So it's a matter of just being a little bit like understandable where you could actually put. Now, of course, if you get something good, like so most of the time you actually have to get like the XXX large Pokemons and all
Yes.
that. So if you get something good, you can put it in a contest. If you get outrun, usually you just wanna try to see if you can get a better one before the event ends, and then switch it out like in the last 5 minutes or so. So
Yeah,
that way you at
my
least get those
my
premium items.
sorry. Yeah, my trouble was finding the XXL
Mm,
for each of them. I was able to find like one of each of them on the days I was able to play,
yeah.
but even putting them in, I only got like third or fourth. So I think my main problem was trying to compete in like SCF, so it was like everyone's putting them there.
Yeah.
I really should have done my neighborhood one because I'm
Yeah.
like pretty sure there was only like 9 people in that one, but there was like 24 in SCF.
I
So
try
yeah,
to do
I should have
it
done that.
in most rural areas where I know that a lot of players are not there.
Yeah.
There's one like literally across like this Pokestop over there across the gym that you see if you guys are in the Twitch chat right now. It's one of the contests and it's like on I think it's like a retirement community. So all I do is just drive by through it and then just I drop my Pokemon there. Then I have like 2 more like in a car wash and in a library, and those usually don't have like a lot of people actually playing. My entire
Mhm.
like somewhat neighborhood area part is more rural, so I don't see a lot of players play
Mhm.
when it comes down to it. I did win 3. I think I won all of them. The last one I didn't really play too much, because it was C dot, and I was like, I'm not looking for C dots right now.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the main people that wanted C dot was either A, the people that didn't play the comp day, or B, the people that wanted that extra large candy.
I
But
have one in one place, so I'm good at that. I mean,
oh yeah,
the best part about it is like giving you those premium items like lure modules and incubators and things like that has probably been one of the easiest thing to grind since the release of the event. I have now a total of 24 lure modules from doing all those
ooh,
things. I have 4 low sea, 2 rainy, magnetic, and glacier. Also gives you things like incubators and star pieces and lucky eggs. So pretty good premium items for sure. Uh, but anyways, the event itself wasn't as incredible. Of course, we're coming down from what we call the um, one of the best events in the world, literally.
yeah. It's kind of hard to compete with Adventure Week. I feel like.
Yeah, but it is what it is when it comes down to it. Um, I know for a fact that it could have been better. I mean, maybe one more shiny release would have been fine. But again, we're also competing with the live events that are happening in all around the world. So
Yeah, Patillo was really cool. I think the only thing I can think that would have logically made sense is if they added a Hisuian Lilligant in raids for one of the days.
that would have been good,
Um,
like a raid day. That wouldn't be bad for a
yeah,
raid day. But that
yeah, I could have
also,
seen that.
the only problem is that because of everything that's happening, it's kind of hard for everybody to be like, oh, we're just gonna dedicate a couple hours to raid day while everybody else is playing Go Fest or something like that.
Yeah, maybe that's why they didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I think it's too much. It would have been a little too much for everybody to handle, and not everybody would have been happy about it, especially since Mega Rayquaza, Mega Diancie, Cernias, and Yveltal are probably like the hypest thing that we have seen coming out of the events, anyway. So for us, at least, it's been kind of like chill. I've been able to restock a lot since the event started, so it's actually been pretty good. I know I was like low on Pokeballs after the fossil event, so
Yeah,
I've been restocking my life away.
I've
Which
been trying.
Yeah, but of course all of that is gonna go away once we have this weekend's events happening. We do have Frocky Community Day happening this Sunday. I'm sure everybody's gonna be playing it, so definitely something that we're gonna be looking into that Sunday, and then after that we can only have a few days away from GoFest. That's gonna
Oh,
be
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to grind hard on Monday then to grind up Pokeballs.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
What do you mean? Are you
did
going to GoFest?
Oh no, oh shoot. Yeah, I'm thinking of local. My bad.
It's
I'm thinking of global. My
like,
bad.
are you surprising me in New York, brother, or not?
No, no, that'd be hilarious though. Hey,
Yeah,
by the way, I'm staying with you. Haha.
I'm okay with that.
Oh my gosh. Did
um,
you already talk Chinese?
yes, in my home, but what about yours?
Yeah. This week I already said I didn't really get any event shinies. I got everything else. So the adventure breakthrough or the 7-day week box or whatever. I forget what it's called out of a sudden. But I got a shiny Sableye. Uh,
Okay.
it caught me off guard. And then I got my 7 billionth Galarian Zigzagoon. Uh, I'm gonna have to start deleting those.
Yeah.
They're such a cool shiny, but dude, they need to lower those rates or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
and then today I got a weather boosted shiny Trico. Gorgeous shiny, do not need it. I think the Sableye was definitely my favorite catch out of
Oh
those.
yeah.
And then yeah, and then today I remote raided a raid from Zach in chat and got a 15 14 14 Cresselia. That was cool, but I have better ones. I even have a better shiny one, so it was like
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Well, I think since Cresselia is good both in the Great League and the Ultra League, it doesn't have really that much playability in the Master League.
No,
So it's
nah,
kind of one
it's
of those
all
things.
bragging rights. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Good me. Drowsy's finally here. Plus, I'm still sick, so my throat is hurting like hell. Anyways, but yeah, that's that. I didn't put the best event ever, but I think that's just copy the things. Anyways, let's talk some news here. I know we're already 15 minutes into the podcast, so might as well talk about some things that are happening this week. So today's research topics of the week, Chris, put your thinking hats on. You already have a hat on, so I don't know about
Got my Taco Bell hat on. Yeah.
mine. So, First and foremost is the event of the World Championship, which actually, by the recording of this podcast 24 hours from now, will actually be in that event. So let's get to it, shall we? Celebrate the 2023 Pokemon World Championship in Pokemon Go. A brand new Pokemon is being debuted. Pansear? No, I don't. I don't even know the name of the Pokemon anymore.
Pessimian?
Pansear. Thank you. So it'll take place on August 11th to the 13th in Yokohama, Japan. It is technically the 9th today. It will be the 10th tomorrow for us, but in Japan it will be the 11th. You know, time zones is a thing. Will be able to compete in the World Championship, of course. Among the other prizes, Pokemon World Champions will receive an in-game World Champion 2023 outfit and pose. I like the outfit. The pose is from last year, so I don't know why they would actually do the same pose.
Is that the same pose as the champion last year, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not completely against that. I mean, as long as you know how people get it, I do think that definitely makes it unique, especially since only one person gets it,
Two.
right? Because it's the champion.
Last year it was two people because they had the
Two
senior
people.
division and the master division, but this year is actually all one division. So technically, only one more person will have it by the end of it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's horrible.
Right.
When you see it all over the place, that's a different thing. But when only four people are going to have it after this event.
Of course, not if our raging champion, Dancing Rough, will be back to
Oh,
back champions or something,
oh my gosh, you're right.
or me
Yeah, he's
Whittle.
like,
Me
yeah,
Whittle.
he's like, what am I supposed to do? All I got was new clothes, not new pose.
I'm sure he has some cash pressures from all this and everything. So tune in English streams in Pokemon Go Twitch channels, and then there's also a Japanese channel if you want to watch it. But of course, you gotta be in Japan's time. Avatar items to celebrate. We have the Avatar shop. Will be available at no cost. That will be the Yokohama shirt, white shirt. And the World Championship stream, a code be a stream and social media. So there will be some in-game codes that you can redeem when you watch the streams. That'll be interesting. Chris, how about you tell us about the 2023 World Championship celebration in Pokemon Go and what's happening on it?
Yes, the Pokemon debuts. So as you know, Passimian, the teamwork Pokemon, is going to be making its Pokemon Go debut. It does not have a shiny chance according to this. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought it did right away. But there will also be a World Championships 2023 Pikachu showing up. It has a little shirt on, and of course, it does have that shiny chance. The event bonuses. The maximum number of sets you can play per day in the Go Battle League will go up from 5 to 10, and that's each day that this event's going on. Pokemon encountered via Go Battle League rewards will have a wider variance of attack, defense, and HP. What does this mean? You're going to be less likely to get a hundo, but it's more likely to have PvP stats. If
True.
you're not really into that, you don't need to do GBL, but this is a very PvP heavy event, I've heard.
Yep.
The timed research, World Championship, sorry, themed research will be available throughout the event. Complete the research task to earn an Elite Fastium, an encounter with the World Championships 2023 Pikachu, and more. We don't know what more, but those are some really good rewards.
True.
For the wild encounters, we're gonna have Machop, Chinchou, Wooper, Sableye, Meditite, Spheal, Drillbur, Scraggy with a shiny chance, Bunnelby, Wooloo, Onyx, and Lickitung. You heard that right. Scraggy is going to be making its shiny debut. I'm excited, even though it's barely a change.
Right.
For the raids, we got 1-star World Championship Pikachu, Alolan Sandshrew, Gligar, and Scraggy. 3-star Skarmory, Galarian Stunfisk, and Passimian. 5-star raids, we still got Cresselia. Mega raids is going to be Mega Gyarados. And let's talk field research test. We got the Pikachu that you can get with the costume, Alolan Sandshrew, Seal, Magikarp, Galarian Zigzagoon, Spheal, Passimian, and Wimpod. I'm actually surprised to see Wimpod in there.
He
Uh,
has a little bit of liability in Ultra League. a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely see the other ones. That one just caught me off guard.
Right.
The featured attacks. So if you don't know PvP, a lot of those Pokemon, and as we just talked about, all of those Pokemon pretty much are relevant in PvP. And here's some of the attacks they're going to be able to learn during this event. Alolan Sand Slash. Evolve Alolan Sandshrew during the event and get a Sand Slash that knows the fast attack Shadow Claw. Machamp will be able to evolve and learn the charge attack Payback. Dugong. Evolve a Seal during the event and get a Dugong that knows the fast attack Ice Shard and the charge attack Icy Wind.
That's pretty
Very,
good.
very relevant.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I want to say they added Drill Run recently to its potential charge moves. So yeah, that's going to be a monster to go against for everyone. Welrin. Evolve Celio during the event to get a Walrein that knows the fast attack Powder Snow and the charge attack Icicle Spear. And then Obstagoon. Evolve Galarian Lanoon during the event to get an Obstagoon that knows the charge attack Obstruct. So if you don't have PvP mons, yeah, now's your time to grind. Now's your
Correct.
time to get those GBL monsters.
Yep.
And the avatar items, they got some pretty cool clothes. You got the 2023 Worlds jersey and the 2023 Worlds jacket. They'll be available starting August 11th in the store.
The
Really
jacket looks
cool
pretty cool.
event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like both of them, but yeah, that jacket goes hard,
Yeah.
honestly.
Just to recap a few things. So, a lot of the Pokemon that are spawning in the wild are very, very, very strong, eligible PvP Pokemons. So that's something that you do want to grind this event if you want to really get those. The most notable ones to actually really go through. Dribble, definitely for a shiny chance. Scraggy will be really good every now and then. Sableye, unfortunately, it's not as great to be in the wild and to have like a purified one for it.
Yeah, it's really just extra large candy for a few of these guys.
Correct. Chinchou, Machop, really. Seal had a community that is still powerful enough. Volley, it's okay, but Meditite is the one that you want to chase because it is like the best, most grindy one that you can actually have in the entire game. Onyx and Lickitung, of course, have some playability in some of the leagues. At least Steelix does, but you know. After that, the raids are okay. I mean, if you really are just looking for a shiny chance for Straggy, you probably just want to do that in the World's Championship, of course. But after that, you really don't want to raid any of the Pokemons because unfortunately, you'll get raid IVs instead of PvP IVs. So that's one of the things that you really keep in mind when it comes down to it. Maybe the Skarmory and the Galarian Starface, but that's for Ultra League anyways. Cresselia does still have some availability. We did say that Ultra League and Great League does have some Cresselia availability for that. So I don't know if I said that correctly, but I will.
Yeah, you just got to get lucky with Cresselia, because it's impossible to get it from raids low enough.
Yeah, you either gotta get it from a research or just trade it down and hopefully get it under 1500, just like Tapu Fini. And yeah, the research stacks and everything. The moves are okay for almost every single one. The only one that I don't recommend actually doing the evolution is for Machamp because Machamp, unfortunately, Payback has some liability in some metas, regardless. But in the end of the day, Payback is really not the move that you really want to go for.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. You really want like Rock Slide most of the time.
Just to hit those flying types out there too. Because you're never gonna pair it against a psychic type. It dies so quickly to it.
Yeah, it's either Fairy or Flyers coming out.
Yeah, so that's the World Championship event. I'm excited to see who is gonna be the next, winner when it comes down to it. It's gonna be an interesting weekend to watch. Definitely, it all starts at least in our time, Eastern time, around 8 p.m. Eastern time. So it's gonna be a really late nights for all of this. In the end of the day, we just gotta be careful if you wanna get some of the codes and everything. I guess being in Japan does take a toll out of you.
Yeah, it's possible. I've heard some people say it might be the same code for everyone, but
Yeah.
if it's not, just have it open in the background,
Yeah.
until you get your code.
Yeah. Hopefully, it will be very early in the streams. But of course, PvP Pokemon Go is not the only thing that's happening. There's also VGC, TCG, all those official channels for even Unite is actually in the worlds right now. So it's actually pretty cool. But regardless, still a pretty cool event. I'm really excited about it, especially the event itself. Some good shiny potential out there. Hopefully, I'll be better by tomorrow. And I guess it's tomorrow, not the day after. I think the 11th. The 11, right?
I want to say that's right.
Yeah,
I had
sure.
a hard time finding the dates. I'll be real.
Right.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, Friday, August 11th at 10 a.m. to Tuesday, August 15th at 8 p.m. local time. Yeah, I completely went over that on accident.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, that's it for the World Championship event. Next, get into the next piece of news, and this one is an exciting and surprising one. So, a couple of days ago, actually a couple of days, not yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday, I recorded this podcast on Tuesday. We had a Pokemon Presents, a 30-minute presentation of all the news of Pokemon worlds, or the world, I guess. I don't know, all this stuff Pokemon wise. We had some things mixed in from there, from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Cafe Mix. We had brand new shows coming up, web series, some things about the World Championship, of course. And then one thing that Pokemon Go was mentioned, of course, the Global Go Fest, the regular Go Fest, things like that. But then they tease us a little bit right there at the end of it, of at least that section, because there's more to it. That said that we had a sneak peek of what's going to happen in September, which is the brand new season of Pokemon Go, for us at least. And they started showing some cool stuff from it. It was actually, how about, actually, the video is only like a couple seconds long, so I'll go ahead and just like let you guys watch it here. If you guys are in the Twitch chat, just make sure you watch it with us, and hopefully it's not too loud for anybody out there. If it loads.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's definitely got a good nod to each of the games.
Yeah,
That's actually the
so
first time I just saw it.
I am I am going to actually go on a few things here. We got shoes showing us, first of all the Pokeballs, except the Master Ball because it's still rare. We have a shoes, red and green. Of course, you guys know that I'll manage to that. Then we got our gold and silver. Then the next one is ruby and sapphire. I do like those colors. I kind of want those, but of course that looks like protocol. So anyways, but anyway.
Yeah, at first I was like, are they putting new merch out?
I know, right? I was like, wait, what is, like, is that a coloration for some reason or something? It could be. You never know.
It's possible.
Yeah. Then we have our, is that diamond?
Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl. For some reason, it took me a second to remember what was the next generation of names. So it was like Diamond and Pearl. So yeah, that is Diamond and Pearl's shoes. Then we have black and white. Those shoes are fire regardless. X and Y. You actually see the X and Y on the shoe itself, so we know that the colors of Xerneas and Yveltal. Then we have Sun and Moon, which is a tropical, of course. I do like our Sun and Moon counterparts. Then we know this is Soaring Shield because of the sword that's literally hanging from part of that. And then they show us the little shield at the bottom there. I'm going to get to that in a second. And then we have... What is this one?
The last one should be Paldea, right?
The last one, yes, but this one shows.
Oh wait, no, is that Oh my gosh, is that Arceus?
This is Arceus, yeah. This is a Legend Arceus, or Arceus, or whatever they call it. Anyways, yeah, because that's the Hisuian Pokedex right on the next on that shoe. So I was like, okay, so they do count Hisuian or Legend Arceus as an old generation for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and then at the end, we do see our Paldea starters, Scarlet and Violet, meaning the Pokemon Go is going to bring us Scarlet and Violet Pokemons, meaning that Paldea is on the horizon, y'all. I have some mixed feelings about this one for sure.
Yeah, I saw you on Twitter like, what?
That's true. So it's no secret that we had some teases when it comes to Paldea and everything. I mean, technically it's not the very first Pokemon from Paldea to actually come into Pokemon Go, because we do have Gimigal through the interaction with Scarlet and Violet and all of that. But to bring Paldea starters, Fuecoco, Spriggito, and Quaxley, right? Into Pokemon Go, plus maybe some other Pokemons in the region before Generation 8? Before
Lechonk?
The chunk may actually be a thing, but of course it probably won't be shiny, so that's interesting. It could actually get some availability in Pokemon Go PvP, but I don't know. We'll see about that. But the funny thing is like this is breaking some traditions because if you think about it, we haven't had Sword and Shield starters yet. We hadn't had most of the generation release. We have Pokemons from Gen 8. It's not
Yeah, they dropped them in at a weird time too with that.
that it's a little bit weird when they actually. I mean, we do have Sation and Samacenta release, so maybe their shinies will come out eventually, or even their other forms, the crown forms and everything like that. But if this season is going to revolve around the Paldea region, I think they're actually trying to coexist with what we have with the DLC for both Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet will be having this DLC. The first part of the DLC will actually be coming in on September 13th. It was announced during the presents, of course. The next part will be during the winter time or closer to the winter time. However, the next 3 months for us will be focused about the Paldea region. We still don't know what the entirety of the season is. They're just teasing us, knowing that the Paldea Pokemons are starting to come through. Basically, the starters, maybe the Pseudo Legendary and the Route 1 starter, which is Lechonk. So it's kind of interesting to say the least. I don't know. My thoughts and feelings is like I'm liking that they're breaking the whole like conundrum of saying the next generation will be the next one after that. But I'm also having mixed feelings. But Generation 8 is one of my favorites out there right now. What about you, Chris?
Um, I mean, I can't really have anything bad to say as long as they're putting in anything new. It is funny to see for sure. I'm sure they're just gonna give us a taste of Paldea and then leave us waiting for more. But hopefully we get to fill up those Pokédexes on the other ones that we're still waiting on. Um, yeah, I'm definitely excited. This generation is definitely a good one. There's not really many generations I'm not excited like to see Pokemon for, especially when we're talking starters. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm curious how much we're gonna get a Paldea though.
True. Based on the ways that they're looking at it, maybe just the starters will be fine. But there are actually some leaks out there that we won't talk about it until we have more news about it. They're actually coming in today, the leaks, and that's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. First and foremost, Combat, thank you for joining us. How are we doing? We're doing good. And DXZ, thank you for joining us again. Thank you for being around. I know, a long time no see, y'all. You can help me with the game. We're doing a podcast. Will help if you guys want to later on, maybe in our Discord or something similar to it. To finish up on this topic, I'm okay with it, but I was waiting for at least somewhere close by to Gen 8. I mean, last year I think was it during it wasn't during the 6th anniversary poster. It was the 5th anniversary poster where we had actually the Galar starters show up, but we never really had them in Pokemon Go. So it's kind of like kind of thing. I do like my Gen 8 starters, of course. I mean, and technically any starters is okay when it comes down to it, but they went from Generation 8, which only a few things were released, which it wasn't the actual starters, which is other things of the game. We still have a bunch of Pokemon that need to be released during the time period. And then we also, of course, have Hisuian Pokemons, and the Hisuian rollout has been slow and steady. In some ways, of course. But we still have like those starters too that we have to evolve into different starters. And it's kind of interesting to say the least. So I'm kind of curious what they're planning this last season, and of course the end of the year when it comes down to it. Any more thoughts?
What was the question again?
Just how they are thinking of like breaking the conundrum that they have for the last 7 years.
Oh, like yeah, like the script they kind of have written out.
Yeah.
It's definitely good to keep us on our toes, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to know to a T what's coming next. I think random calm days and everything are great. I think releasing Pokemon in a weird way is great. I don't want to know what's going to happen in the game on a week to week basis, a month to month basis. Keeping us surprised like this is definitely going to keep us coming back for sure. Because there's going to be a lot of people that just started Pokemon with Scarlet and Violet. I know that's crazy to think for a lot of people, but something Pokemon does really well is they keep having new people in the hobby in the play because of how the new games work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a great. I'm almost positive that Pokemon Go is trying to get those new players onto Pokemon Go.
That's true.
you know,
That's true, and I do like that take to it because we want to introduce many players back into the game or new players who want to play into the game. So that whatever the case may be, it's gonna be an interesting season for sure, and hopefully it's not all revolving about Paldea. Hope they actually do bring us a few things here and there from other generations if that were the case, especially since the Halloween season is coming. So,
ooh,
but yeah. Then after that, we have some exclusive codes to happen during the World 2023 Championships. We're not stopping talking about the World 2023 Championships because it's part of it. If you tune into the Twitch broadcast, there will be some codes to redeem. One of the very first day will be the Great League Greatness Time Research. Whoever redeems the code will get their exclusive time research for battling basics. Rewards encounters including Pokemon that will make worthy Great League teams. Trainers will choose between the following rewards: Team 1, Skarmory, Vigoroth, and Swampert. Two of them can be shiny for some reason. I don't know. I didn't know Skarmory can. Oh, yeah, wait. Skarmory is a one-stage Pokemon. It's evolution, so I thought there was something there. Then Team 2, we have Trevenant, Noctowl, and Lantern. Team 3, we have Azumarill, Umbreon, and Mandibuzz. Actually, that team just gets destroyed by fairies, but whatever. And then some additional rewards like 8,000 Stardust, 1 Premium Battle Pass, and 1 Star Piece, and more, of course. If you're lucky, you may encounter shiny ones of a few of those Pokemon, not every single one. Day 2, we have Dancing Drum Champion Time Research. So Dancing Drum is getting their own time research too, which is funny. During it, of course, if you watch the stream in the Masters Division, Champion Dancing Rope is one of the key Pokemon that help him become the champion. So trainers will be able to obtain the following rewards: a Galarian Stunfisk, an Elite Charge TM, and more. That's actually pretty good.
for free?
For free. I know, right? How to enter? How to redeem the code? Well, we have to follow the Pokemon Go Twitch channel. There is a linkable click through the blog box here. I already lost everything here, so give me a second, guys. Then after that, you actually have to watch it day 1 and day 2, mostly because by day 2, I think we already know our champions. Since I think day 3 is going to be mostly VGC and all that stuff, so we get through those. Friday, August 11, starting at 12 a.m. UTC, which is like 8 p.m. local time for us here. Running until the end of the day's rebroadcast. And then Saturday, August 12, same time, 12 a.m. UTC, and running until the end of the day's rebroadcast. Rebroadcast will be occurring throughout the weekend. Outside of the above list live shows below, if you miss the live broadcast, you can still follow the below steps during the rebroadcast to get a code. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the word because I cannot talk right now. And then locate the giveaway panel. We just have to scroll down through the Twitch channel to get it. Share your Twitch ID for the giveaway. We have to tune in for 30 minutes and get an in-game reward for Pokemon Go to be able to share your Twitch ID. So that's interesting. Watch for 30 minutes. Once you watch the 30 minutes, you'll get your reward, claim your code, and then you redeem your code through your specific parts, like either the code at the bottom of the screen from the shop or the website that lets you redeem it. And then, of course, there's more to celebrate, but of course, we already talked about that. Chris, are you going to be watching, getting those codes, getting those things?
Yeah, I'll definitely try to. What I'm probably gonna have to do is put it on, put put my phone on sleep mode and
Right.
still have the stream going.
Right.
And then I'll come back on my break and put in the code. That's probably what's gonna end up happening.
My
But
suggestion
mhm.
in most of this, if you're in like this type of time zones when it comes down to it, because I know you have other time zones in the world, um, just tune in as soon as possible. Do the whole shabam, share your code, things like that. Watch the 30 minutes and you'll be done. Because at the end of the day, how are you gonna watch like 8 hours of gameplay? It's gonna be a lot. Definitely gonna be a lot. But yeah, definitely something to watch out for. Free codes for elite TMs and everything. That's always a good thing, regardless. And most of the things can actually also be shared in Twitter. Most of the time they're redeemable, but you also gotta be quick. So be careful when in out there. Chris, how about you let us know about the next part of this blog post or the next one?
Yes. We actually are going to talk about a little bit about somebody we know, which is cool. A Pokemon Go World Championship celebration, a basic guide to Pokemon Go battles. Hey, trainers. I'm hoping I don't butcher the first name, but Soft Tough and Speediest Chief 2 here to celebrate the World Pokemon. I butchered that too. To celebrate the Pokemon World Championships, we'll be posting articles that go over Pokemon Go battle basics and more. With Pokemon Go 2023 World Championships event going on now, it's a great time to cover everything you need to get started on your road to becoming the Pokemon Go Battle League legend, or even the next world champion. Which, if you're going to learn from people, I know Speed is Chief. I don't know if I've seen the other name. I'm sure they got to be.
Real quick to know that Safarat, which is the other person in this blog post, is actually a contributor writer in Pokemon.com, while Speedy's Chief
Ooh.
is a caster for the Pokemon Go World Championship Company.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes.
but we all know who Speedy Chief is. If you don't know him, very good friend of the show. We have interviewed with him a couple of times. We definitely want to keep him going next time when he's more free, of course. But the man is the legend.
Yeah, Sylph World Champion. He's a monster with Fortress. If you see it, watch out.
Right? Yeah, definitely something that you do want to check out his content if you can. But he's all over the place these times. So then, of course, we do have the whole blog post basically just teaches you how to play Pokemon Go in a certain way that you want to actually play PvP in the end of the day. So
Yeah, it's like a giant tutorial.
yeah, so basically they go over community days, raid hours, shadow Pokemons, Tingle Rocket takeovers, things like that. The basics of how to play PvP, how to actually start on PvP, what's happening during the charge attacks, the quick attacks, the type of Pokemon you have, the shields, and all that shabam. So this whole blog post is just to teach you more about the Go Battle League and how to really play Pokemon Go PvP at its finest. I really wanted to mention it more. That's the reason the Speedish Chief is part of this. And Pokemon Go mentioning Speedish Chief is like a grand world champion, event for us in the end of the day because he's just a good friend of ours, anyways. But yeah, it just tells you all these things, and then of course, the Pokemon Go Championship Series is part of the Play Pokemon events. If you can find one, you definitely are want to compete in it. I know you can get points throughout the system too now, so it's one of those things. I am trying to see if I can get our local store as part of it, but it's taking me a little bit to get everything together when it comes down to it. But yeah, Swedish Chief, thank you so much for the blog post. If you want to check it out, go to Pokemon Go Live and then learn all about Pokemon Go PvP if that's the case. Get to it, y'all. And then one last thing that I did want to mention New York Pokemon Go Fest is happening very, very soon. And we're actually going to grind pretty cool. So, the Professor Network and Lurap, the New York State of Grind, we're excited to announce that the Lura Podcast, GoFest, New York Meetup, and City Experience Grind join us on Saturday, August 19, as we head on foot from Randos Island at 1 p.m., which is basically the second half of Pokemon Go Fest for anybody who has really playing on Saturday. for a tour of the New York City landmarks with an incredible group of podcasters, featuring the hosts of the Waste Spotters, Special Conditions Podcast, the Purified Podcast. Hello. As the Pokemon Turns podcast, the Table Chatted, and Good Morning Johto. There also will also be joined by the New York City legend Omnisec. While we're doing the route, we're gonna go through Central Park, Rockefeller Center, the Nintendo New York City, Broadway, Times Square, Bryant Park, Empire State Building, dining in Koreatown because we want to dine cool. And then we'll have an after party afterwards, depending on how we do things. And then, of course, we'll see you out there, y'all. You can also meet Ken and Adam from the Laura Podcast every day during the Notable Trainer Meet and Greet tent from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. local time every other day. And there is a cool picture for everybody here. I know we're kind of like, Chris is kind of like covering some of this here, but you know. But that is the meetup that we're going to see. So if you want to join us, you know, walking through it, and now I'll be there, you know, because, you know, I'm one of the hosts there. But Chris, are you still not entitled to go?
Nah. I'd definitely try for next year, but yeah, I couldn't make it work this year.
No. Okay, whatever. But yeah, definitely meet us out there, New York Grind. That is my play day too, so there's definitely going to be a lot of experiences to go forward. Where's always a Victorville in my house? It's right next to, right next to the Bellsprout too. Crazy. So yeah, meet you out there, trainers. Make sure that if you are there, we'll be grinding it out like any Pokemon Go player in New York City, and it's gonna be crazy. All right, before my boss goes away, let's get wrecked. Here we go, Chris. GBL is currently in the Ultra League and the Little Jungle Cup, I think it's called. Right?
Not gonna lie, I gotta check.
Gotta check.
Yes.
Bro. Yeah, so I'm still ace. I am at the 2100s. I did go down a little bit in elo because I'm trying new teams and everything in the Ultra League, and it's still not my fort these days anymore. But once next week comes around, which is the Gray League, the Ultra League, and the Master League during the World Championship, Master League is my meta. I will destroy everybody.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm more confident in Ultra League, but yeah, when I have a bad set, it just makes me not want to do GBL as much.
Yeah, I know. It's because you still got to get used to your own team and all that.
Yeah, I know people I saw a lot of people on Twitter, the people that I know hit legend pretty much every season, say that as long as you have, you know, a 54% win rate, you should statistically be hitting legend. But then, you know, I see myself do like a 0-5, a 1-4 sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Right? That's definitely something to keep in mind into it in the end of the day. But yeah, it's a grind to get to legend. I don't know if I'll ever make it to legend, but you never know until I actually feel like really doing the grind for it. It's its own grind. It definitely is its own grind. You have to have that mentality to play GVL at its finest, and really know some of the things that a lot of the big people out there happen to be. So, with that being said, I think that's it. Worlds is happening. I mean, we talked about it the whole entire time, so we know what's happening anyways. Is there anything else that we gotta cover, Chris?
Oh, I did. I don't know if you saw it, but I did see. I need to see if I can find. I know. I think his name's Marcelo on Twitter. Said that there is, yes, Pokemaster Marcelo. He actually posted there is a trick. I don't know if it's patched to get Zygarde cells.
What's the trick?
Have you heard about that?
No, what's the trick?
So he's about 80. I want to say about 80 meters. Yeah, 86 meters from the end of the route that he was on. You can pause the route, exit the game, reload the game, and then open up the route. And there may be a cell next to you. I don't think it's 100% chance, but you just can keep doing that until a cell spawns.
So there's a few things. Pokédaxi actually posted a video or a small little clip of things talking about what routes or how routes really work when it comes to Zygarde cells. So there is some notable things to mention. Number one, you know that during the route you get Pokemons that appear through the route. Most of the time, there are special Pokemons like regional Pokemons. For us, it's been like literally the entire region that we have of regional Pokemons every time that we see them. But you see the little mark that says route, right? So it does say that, or at least after all this type of investigation that we had, we're not fully 100% sure on this, but every time the route you walk a route, you have the chance to encounter up to 3 of those special spawns. However, though, if all 3 appear throughout the entirety of the route, there's a less likely chance of encountering a Zygarde cell because the Zygarde cell is tied through one of these special spawns. So instead of 3, if you get 2, that means you can still get a chance of getting a Zygarde cell. That being the case, if you get all 3, you're most likely not going to get a Zygarde cell.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, because all I saw was his video. From what I'm seeing, based on the Reddit post, it's only if a cell was supposed to spawn in the last 100 meters, that's when you actually can reload the game.
Yeah, yeah. Also, other things to note, you will not get another Zygarde cell from the same route. So you cannot walk the same route more than once each day. You can get up to 3 cells at a time. And I think up to 3 cells per day too. So basically, if you walk one route, you can and you have the chance of encountering the cell. But if you walk it again, you may not have another chance at it. And that's because, again, of the things you have to do a different route to see if you can get another cell. But if you get up to 3 cells throughout the day, you won't get any more throughout that specific day. So, I mean, yeah, you can grind it. I don't know how long it will take you to actually do 3 cells per day and how many routes you actually have to do.
Yeah, I wish they honestly had a higher limit because 3 per day, if you need 250, that's going to be a long, long time.
Which it makes sense. But I think actually I think somebody actually was able to get there 50% at least. Zygarde, let's see if I can find it. Yep, there is somebody on Twitter. We're not gonna name them because I'm not sure if they're legit or not at this point. But they do have an image of their Zygarde cell 50% already completed. You do actually have to use the cells when you want to turn it your Zygarde into 50%. So if you want to get another 200, you have to get another 200 for the rest for the 100% form at that point. So crazy in the end of the day. It's gonna be a grind for a while until at least Zygarde becomes available in raids, if he ever becomes available in raids at that point. But yeah, that's pretty much it, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's all I can think of at
Yeah.
least.
When it comes to Pokemon Go, yes, there's a lot of other news, of course, for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and the VGC games and all that. So we won't go over them today. If there's more time next week, we'll probably go ahead and go about it. But thank you once again for everybody for listening to the podcast. I know my voice is cracked and right now, so make sure you listen us to it in our podcast services feeds, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, many of those places. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate it. Follow our social medias, Purified Podcast for anything Pokemon Go related news, Pure Let It Go for anything me related, I guess. And then Pokemon Trigger Please, that's PKMN Trigger Please with a C at the end. Purifiedpodcast at gmail.com if you want to join us there, or at least email us anything. Discord, as always, we're always on Discord, so make sure you join us there. That make sure that everybody on the stream is looking at that. And then don't you forget to check us out at thepurepodcast.com, the Professor Network. All right, my voice is shot. Chris, take us away from the night.
All right. Hope you guys had a fabulous week hunting down those Patilil and all the other grass and fairy types. We're looking forward to next week. Hopefully, we find out soon about those Paldea Pokemon, and get those Froakies, get evolving, and yeah, we'll have a fabulous time. Remember, there could be a Ash Greninja kind of variant of Greninja in the future. So you know, get out there, get catching, get evolving, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week where hopefully we got even more crazy news for you guys. Peace out, guys.
Keep purifying then, everybody, and we'll see you guys next time.